Play with that. So I am Jen Healy, and this is my dear friend and colleague, Barbara Karlsen.
Hi.
Hi. And we're playing with this combination of suspended somatics therapy that is a blend of so many things. First, I want to introduce you to these AYRx yoga swings that are amazing. They're super stretchy, cotton lycra blend, they spread out. And we're combining two different swings here in a leg loop fashion that is a supported saddle. And we're going to utilize multiple pieces to get into some poses on the table that will allow us to explore fluid dynamic movement. As well as one of the things that I love to talk about is spiral energetics and how the body works in a spherical nature and getting into multidimensional movement. The table allows us to do more of a therapeutic practice. I've been doing all kinds of forms of body work for over 25 years, and I typically work with people either on the table or in the swing, and we're blending those. And Barbara is an embodied master in her own right, and I'll let her talk to you about her somatics therapy.
So I am a somatic psychotherapist, and I also studied with Emily Conrad for 30 years. And I also did a postgraduate training in pre and perinatal psychology, so I learned early developmental imprints and interference fields and how that interferes with our embodiment and our developmental growth. So my work has been primarily in the field of resolving somatic interferences and then helping people fully embody their full potential. So I fell in love with Jen's work because she developed this incredible system which I've never experienced such a feeling of suspended tensegrity in my own body that totally brought me alive in a new way. And then I saw the adaptation that it would create in my own practice with helping people that had so many restrictions and limitations around their embodiment. And it's been such a gift. And I continue to deepen into the work and what's possible. And I'm totally blown away all the time. And my clients as well, they teach me, and they teach me even how this swing can be so adapted to whatever's going on in someone's body.
That's right.
And then be that support and that extra
comfort, being held,
move beyond their limitations,
go deeper.
Yeah.
So whether it's an injury or something that we're working on that's more psycho-spiritual, we are integrating the mind-body connection with the soul complex in a really unique and authentic way. So we're just experimenting today, and we thought we'd bring you in to give you a taste of what we can do with the suspended somatics therapy. And it's endless, it truly is. We're just scratching the surface, but we are also curating a very special edition to the AYRx Therapeutix program. I have two different teacher trainings. One that is for the poses and the practice, and then the second one is for application of the therapeutics. So this will turn into a 10-hour therapeutics teacher training that people can really come to us, not only experience it, but then get certified so they can start to integrate this into their own therapy. And this can work with psychotherapy, chiropractic, physical therapy, body work, Pilates, continuum. It's just endless.
Clients who are pregnant, clients who have neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's,
that's right,
multiple sclerosis, autoimmune. I use it all the time.
So it is really a true cross-training between multidisciplinary modalities that's going to be really special and unique. So I hope you do enjoy it. We're in Barbara's beautiful healing studio here, and the light is just pouring in. We're so blessed. I'm going to start out being the body. I'm going to get into the swing, and I have some ideas that I want Barbara and I to explore. We're translating.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
We're translating some poses that I offer in my AYRx program, my AYP, and then we're going to see what it's like to do it on the table, and then we're going to add some of this exploration where Some of it is passive, and other is very interactive and active. And so we're going to play with the polarity between a client who wants to come in and just deeply relax, and ones that want to come in and explore with us and really experience the body in new ways. So you'll see a whole range. Like, we're going to give you a buffet of options of how we can use the swing.
Great. Wonderful.
Thank you, Barbara. Let's do
do
it. So I'm going to start with my head down here today, because I'm going to get into something called the Xfactor. And the Xfactor tends to be a pretty complicated pose to get into. So what I'm going to do is I have the two leg loops behind my back, and they're spread out into a saddle. And I'm going to make sure that they're X'd behind me. So I get into this position here. Sometimes it takes me a minute because my brain is adjusting. Don't try to help yet. So what I usually do is I come back and I exit first. See, there's an X, and then I put myself in there. So I'm like, wait a second, what am I doing? There you go. So now there's an X on my back, right? Yeah. My hair is a little in the way today, but we'll just leave it.
Beautiful.
And then once I'm in that position, I want to have tension on the leg loops where I spread them out, and I can place them right in the intersection between the neck and the shoulders where everybody holds so much tension. And then from there, I'm going to use the extra leg loop on.
Oh, that looks great, Jen. Oh my gosh.
So I can push away, like we were talking about, the tensegrity that you can experience, where I'm actually kind of levitating a little bit above the table, and I can do this tiny little fishtail movements, but the table's right there supporting me. Or I can even just have it at my knees and be more on the table.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at this side.
Yeah.
Bending.
So then I can really play with like this swimming motion or this fluid dynamic motion. And I want you to try just helping me by putting some tension on that one and pulling away. Just this one. Yeah. And that will create a different arc in the body.
Fabulous. Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. And so with the table supporting my weight, I feel a different level of freedom to explore in the upper body that I normally wouldn't be able to do when I'm holding all my weight in the swing in the air.
And just like that,
thank you.
Long line.
There you go. Even more with the hip. Push the hip away too. Like down instead of up. Yeah. So you're trashing. That feels amazing. What I love about working with Barbara is not only is she willing to experience and explore, but she has such deep wisdom and knowledge of the body that just comes naturally to me when I'm working with someone. And then let's have you do the other side. You can come over here and pull away, because this movement here, oh yeah, of traction away, I just got an amazing adjustment.
Really?
Oh yeah, it just something pop that really felt stuck. Yeah, that's beautiful. Up and over. And I like the fascia work where we're pushing the hip down as we're pulling the arm up. Yeah, even more with the hip.
I'm just being really careful. Right?
That's okay. Right there, yeah. Almost where the hip flexor meets. Yeah, and then we get a big side body opening. Really beautiful.
God, that's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I can feel that in my own
For
body.
sure, and I can completely relax into it. And I'm naturally supporting my head so I'm not overarching the cervical spine. And then there's one more I want to do here where we go from ankles to knees to hips. And I am actually going to bring this one up one. So will you help me bring the yellow one up? There we go. So it's a little bit of tension on my back. Yeah. So I want the yellow
one up too.
Yeah. So I want the yellow one up a little bit higher. We're just playing with moving the leg loops up and down. I usually call it the swing, but these are the leg loops of the full swing package. And then I'm going to have it around my hips, and I'm still on the table, but I get to wrap.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that looks awesome. Look, and she's floating.
Yeah.
That looks so
What I get to do is I call it love bug, where I get to undulate. So I'm curling into a little bug, like a little roly-poly. And then when I press, I'm arching and lifting, and I'm getting this major opening through the heart and upper thoracics. And I can even use the table a little. What I was thinking is we could actually have...
Oops, table is buckling.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be my spotter. And
I'm
hold,
spotting.
Well, you can give it weight too if you
Okay.
just sit down on that end.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah. Perfect. Let's see if I can pull. Yeah. So I can really be very interactive. I'm very exploratory. But if I was just here and Barbara wanted to work with me, let's see what she comes up with. Because again, we're just making this up on the spot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be.
Okay, so right away when Jen went into that pose, what came up for me was heart opening. I see so many clients, especially now, that have been sort of guarded around the heart, this sense of collapsing.
A heavy heart.
So right away, when Jen went into this, I could feel sort of an opening in my own heart. And so I, being a hands-on, tend to be more of a hands-on person. I want to come in right under here like a feather hand and just under her heart and just add a little. And tell me, Jen, what does that feel like, just having that support there?
Well, it's interesting because it's not just the support. We are electromagnetic beings.
Oh, wow.
And her heart, her hand is an extension of her heart. So there's a communication between the practitioner and client, or between the players, I like to call, that just gave an extra level of comfort that is beyond the physical support. That was energetic and immediate. I could feel my body go like, like the sound of the heart. And you know, I'm very tactile, so I could even enjoy more pressure pressing up. But other people, it's just an invitation to even be in their heart.
Exactly. I mean, you know, it's a lot of what we're helping people to do is inhabit these places that they're not inhabiting on a daily basis.
That's right.
So
bringing awareness to the parts that are stuck. And
so now, go ahead.
Well, I want to talk about the fluids and the fluidity in terms of what happens when energy gets stuck. Like not only the physical paralysis that happens in that tightness, but also like we were talking on our walk, because Barbara and I love to dork out together. That feels amazing because that's creating that natural heart.
Now that's even more heart opening.
Yeah, that's creating the natural arch, but it's coming from deepening my hip flexors.
You can push it down even more.
Well, that was just kind of like, again, an intuitive response, but yeah. And I might just go in and support my head and chillaxing arm, so
I can even put another sling under your head.
Well, I kind of like it like this for this.
You can do this.
Yeah. Well, Xfactor is a really specific thing that we're exploring that I think some of the people who have been working with me could be like, oh my God, I want to do that. And so, but yes, we have so many pieces. We have handholds, we have leg loops, we have the bigger swing that of course we could hang higher even and have more fabric. Like this yellow one, I would love that to be a bigger swing.
Sort of like give you a softening in your knees. So again, there's this, once we start to move, Jen and I, with this system, it doesn't become individual anymore. There's always this sense of how can I participate? There's an intersubjectivity that actually emerges that is quite wonderful. And you know, if you've ever had massage work, you know that you feel like you're the one where you know, everything is being done to you. But in this system, what is so beautiful is that a dance begins to unfold, a movement between Jen's body and my body where there's support and an added sort of deepening. Because like another body helps us to feel our own body in a deeper way.
And it becomes very dynamic and intuitive, what my arms are doing, just kind of like this swimming feeling. Oh yeah, that's fantastic as well. And I can feel the upper thoracic wanting to pop or crack, and it becomes like a natural chiropractic when we start moving with it.
Now I'm feeling that movement also in my body. My body has become fluid. And it's feeling and nuancing and sensing Jen's body. And so I'm kind of using my own body wisdom in conjunction with Jen. And you can see it just starts to take a life of its own. And there's this beautiful unfolding that this could go on, like I said, for such a long time. You know, it's kinetic. It's not
And then
linear.
And then what happens is the leg loops can come down and become a greater support for the hips again
Right.
and give the upper body a break when it feels complete. Like this area is so wrung out now between the neck and shoulders, and it just feels incredible. Or I could even switch and then let the yellow one come over and around the neck. So there's so many variations. Yeah, because this one being a little bit lower has a different experience than the other one.
And we could always put another one on here for the legs.
Well, what I would love is to grab the yellow swing, and I want to hang the yellow swing higher today.
Okay, so the full swing one, Jen, not the leg loops, right?
Yeah, just the yellow swing without the leg loop because it's longer and thicker. And we're gonna hang it right where the knot is.
Sure.
Or right above that. And it's gonna be really thick and wide, and that can actually spread out over the whole.
Above the knot?
I think so.
Okay.
Let's try it.
There we
We're guessing, but thank you, Barbara. But yeah, lots of pieces, lots of moving pieces.
That's what I love.
Yeah, actually one higher.
Okay, one higher.
Because it is stretching.
Up here.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's it. But yeah, we'll see, because it does stretch out quite a bit. And I'm putting tension on the daisy chains.
There we go.
Beautiful. All right, cool. So yeah, so what you'll notice with the main swing, it's really large. And that is so amazing.
That's
so great. Another level
oh my
of
God,
awesome.
that's a whole other
Plus
level.
it's yellow. We have the purple and the yellow. We also have the royal blue swing that's matches my pants.
So you can imagine this feels like layers hugging, like layers embracing your tissue and fascia. You can imagine how that feels.
So I just wanted to get in immediately. It's like being in that little jungle gym where you jump into the balls or something. You just like want to get covered with it. And now my body's nervous system just completely relaxed.
Yeah.
I have the support around my waist and my hips with the purple. And then I'm letting my arms blossom, but even curling into like a little cocoon here, getting mummified, feels really good. And then it might be, again, intuitive where Barbara just does a little touch.
I just came up to your head. I felt this kind of like feeling that I wanted to come up here and just massage this area here.
Yeah, and I call it yoga-sage when we do the massaging in the swing. And I really love this for clients who aren't nearly as comfortable with touch. Somehow this adds like a level or a layer of comfort and security. And for clients who are more comfortable being clothed, this is a really great practice. Not everybody has those kind of body issues, but for those that do, they're just like in heaven. Because they just get all of that yummy touch, but still feeling that sense of security and safety.
And all I'm doing here is just really adding a little traction here and there and a deepening so she can feel deeper into herself. And again, a lot of these like little micro movements will start to come as the body, you know, has its own intelligence coming online. And knows exactly what to do and giving it permission.
Well, what I'm loving about this experience of swing table combo is my legs have so much freedom to respond to the upper body movement. They're not static.
And now I'm coming in with my own body and I'm just adding another layer of, you know, sort of opposition. I call it creative opposition. Meeting her in her push, meeting her in her own sort of ignition of her system. And wow, look what's happening. You see what happens? It just kind of, as I said, starts to take a life of its own where, you know, what's unfolding now is not from the mind or thoughts. It's more two bodies kind of playing together, kind of supporting each other.
And what I'm doing is I'm listening to my lower back in particular. My lower back is like, a twist would be really nice here with the knees bent. And that's releasing something in the lumbar that's allowing me to have a little bit more range of motion in these spiral dynamics that are happening. And we were talking earlier about the energetic systems and where, the body, when it gets stagnant or static, it loses the charge because it's the fluidity and the movement that allows for the electron spin. And, that allows for the cells to vibrate. That allows for the body to breathe in more layman's terms. But I'm always looking at the energetic system, and Barbara's bringing in her deep wisdom of the fluidity of the body and the intelligence of the cells. And this just feels amazing. I feel like I'm kind of floating and flying
at the same time.
And yet that lift is happening, and the support of the table being so soft and cushiony is still holding me, as opposed to just being in the air and being like, oh goodness, I have like a little bit more cushion that is underneath me.
And I just want to say that this is so fun for me. I don't feel like I'm working at all. In fact, I feel like I'm receiving.
Well, what's so great too is I'm getting such sweet and deep relief and release in my body. So I feel like bringing this under my bum more.
Okay.
So we're so hooked up here. I have all of this material under my
But
hips.
doesn't it feel good?
I just love it.
Yeah.
That's why I made them so thick and so stretchy. And then I want to come in, because I love the inversions, So I want to come this way, and I know the table may or may not cooperate, but I love the idea of arching on the edge of the table.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That looks so amazing.
Yeah. So I hope we're still on the camera, but this is great. And you can actually let my arms come down more and then pull away.
Okay.
Yeah. On that angle. Yeah. You can, bend your knees. That's it. Thank you, Barbara. She's so good about being like, oh, I'm feeling this. And this is just perfect. Like, I have to say, I'm in complete heaven.
You look good.
Because the upper thoracic spine, that place right behind the heart, is getting just enough pressure. And I'm getting all the tractioning from Barbara pulling and giving not too much. I'd say medium space. And then the lower body is just completely mobile. So my hips are loose and flowing in these different spiral dynamics. I really am all about the spirals and spins in the body and how it releases the joints, because they're not just wheels, they're actually like spears.
Well, those spirals and waves are how we grow. That's embryogenesis. I mean, embryogenesis is fluid dimension. It's spirals and weaves. Grow our body in spirals and weaves.
And it's how nature grows, all the spirals in nature, and how the multiplicity of all of the flowers and leaves and how they work together. That's how our cells are communicating, and to have a completely different model of how we're looking at the body instead of these linear movements with this kind of support is just incredible. So then I can play with the edge of the table here. Well, I used to have these monkey bars that I would do all of this on, and they were padded, and I really love this combination of swing with the monkey bars. We'll have to try that as well. But the table's so nice for incorporating the body work. And if the table falls over, I'm good. But Barbara was going to support the table so that it stays. Before she's like, well, she's over the edge. And this is just amazing because I'm digging into the subscapula.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And today I'm doing more of an active exploration, but we're going to have Barbara switch and just, I'm going to do some more active release and stretching with her so she can try.
I definitely want to
Yeah,
try.
she's like, I'm ready. And she can try the Xfactor
Yes.
and just very spontaneously, whatever wants to happen. And just FYI, this movement here, again, I'm definitely more of a participatory kitty, but just pushing these away while allowing my hips explore in space, I'm getting a huge release from my piriformis.
Awesome.
So I don't know if you guys know about the piriformis, but I really call that,
the the like major muscle or attachment that is the hang up for most lower back pain and extremely hard to stretch. So I have the material bunched up below my iliac crest.
And I'm going to just come in.
Yay! Whee! Slip and slide. Yeah, that's amazing too. Just a little bit of stretch and tractioning on the body goes a long way. And then I can transfer to just being completely passive and relaxed, which is great. This is a great place to end because then I'm just gonna pull myself up to a seated position.
And there she is.
Oh my God.
And I wish you could see how dewy her skin looks from the fluids. Keep it squishy, keep it.
Thanks, Perks. Okay, great.
Right.
So we're gonna just start with the 2 purple leg loops behind your back.
Yep, I think I remember it. And we have to cross, right? So you make a cross, and then you put it on like a backpack. Is that correct? Yes. Got it right. And how did you, oh yes, where was this underneath the lumbar spine?
I liked this one at the feet.
Oh,
So we can use the swing instead. Yeah, let's use the swing
You can
instead of
just
the leg
unhook
loop.
one level, one side of that.
No, we're gonna use the swing
Oh,
instead of the leg
oh,
loop.
okay,
Yeah,
got it.
because it's bigger. We're just
Okay.
gonna let that one go.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that feels much better.
Okay, so a little instruction here.
Yeah.
Since this is our first time doing Xfactor, bring your feet down for a second.
Okay.
To bend your knees. This doesn't go on the C7 joint. What you want to do is bring it down and spread it out. Can you guys see that? So this is so much better because it's going to
Oh my God, it
hit
feels so much better.
the top of the trap muscle and work with the intersection here, but free up the C7 joint. Okay, now lean back. That's it. And you can always pull these apart to place it, but that was the perfect movement. And then yellow swing at the feet first. Arches of the feet.
Oh,
Push the bottoms of the feet in. Yeah. Bunch it up.
Spread it open, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, we're bunch it up. Cool. And then just lean back. Lean back all the way. You can let your arms go overhead. That's it. Awesome.
Already I'm getting a stretch in, my upper.
So I call it the shoulder squeeze
Oh yeah.
because you get to actually use the fabric.
So already I'm getting a
It's
release.
going to wring out those muscles that have been completely stuck. So they become like dry sponges where they're not able to absorb and get that kind of supple fluidity, that the muscles are like sponges where they need to actually absorb and contract and then release, and then they can get more blood and oxygen flow. Go ahead and pull these apart a little bit here. There you go. And then use your chillaxin arms for a second. I have an idea. Cool. So arch even more. That's it. And then I'm just going to do this little rhythm wave with the body. And I'm just going to listen and only go as far as it feels good for today. But each time I do this, I might actually go a little further. But right now we're just wanting to get that experience of feeling what it's like to open up the heart. Is that okay, pulling even more?
I don't think you need to pull any more. I'm feeling such a stretch.
Yeah.
I just feel it deeply.
Yeah. Beautiful. And then I want you to go ahead and support your head with your hands yourself, but see what it's like to rock your gaze from side to side. Okay.
Just the gaze, or shall I move too?
Your whole head. Look over one shoulder and then the other shoulder. Like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Let me know if that's enough.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go the other way. And we're just going to feel that. What happens? Oh yeah, look at that big arch that happened.
Let me go a little further.
Yeah.
So my body is beginning to open now.
Yeah.
It's going, okay, I see what you're doing.
Oh, right. Yeah, because it's first like, what are we
At first
doing?
it's like, because this is such an unusual movement, right?
Mhm.
It's like, it's processing going, what are you doing? And then all of a sudden it goes, oh, okay, we're going there.
Now,
I can do that. Isn't it amazing how the body, will respond?
It
It's
takes
so
a minute.
responsive.
I want you to try, just keep going where you're going, but this is going to bunch up behind the knees now.
Okay.
So go ahead and get your feet through. Yeah, and feel how different that is.
Oh my God, I actually like that better because
that's more supportive.
I'm the soft knees gives me a little more leverage than the straight legs, right? Oh, that feels so good, Jen. Really good. I can go even a little further. So yeah, body's going, I like this now. It's a nutrient. I want more. I want more. So first it goes, I haven't had this nutrient. I have to taste it. I taste it and I want more.
Yeah, delicious, right? So all I'm doing is pressing one hand on the hip, a little bit lower than the joint, and then the other hand I come up to the tricep. Oh, that feels really good. And that feels good for me when it feels good in her body.
Yeah, you feel the same way.
Oh, it's delicious. It's nourishment for me too, because they're, again, it's also like moving with her and letting my body also be getting the nourishment from the movement.
So now it's wanting to just oscillate
Wiggle.
a little bit. Yeah.
Can I do a little wiggle with the legs too?
Yes.
And this again is just this feeling.
Wow, even just this feels so good.
Yeah, I like to go the chi machine. Her body just loves the chi machine.
Jen, but
really
it's
is.
where it's situated right on my shoulders.
That's right.
Is giving me almost like an acupuncture treatment, right on those kind of like trigger points.
Beautiful.
Like that's what I love about this system. It's like it can sort of like act as acupressure and tensegrity and fluids and spiral dynamics, and now she's at my heart. Oh my God, and that feels so good.
So she's really arching beautifully here, so it doesn't take much, but the lift through the sternum as well as the pressure behind the upper thoracics just gain that millimeter of space that I was talking about in the last video that makes all the difference in the world. And then of course the communication, right? My heart to her heart through the hands of support.
And the heart is an organ of fluids. It's where the blood flows, it's the home of the blood flow, it's the chamber pumping.
Yeah.
So right away when you put your hand there on my heart, I automatically felt the warmth, sort of go right through my body.
That's right. And I know we could be here forever because we're having so much fun, but I really want her to bring the swing up to the hips now because I'm getting eager to do Love Bug. And I love calling it Love Bug. It's like, I make up all the names to be funny and silly so we can have a good time with that. These are, but they're cute. They're cute, but it's okay. They're getting tangled. We'll work with it. We'll work with the outfit. So now the yellow swing is going to be around the waist. This one. Yeah, and you can have both yellow if we wanted, but we're just going to use that for the neck in a minute. And then wrap your legs around. So push the yellow swing away, and then get the legs around.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're doing.
Outside in.
Outside.
And we're coming into our inversion. Yeah.
Okay,
And then
this feels great.
And then we're going to do this, because this is going to support your head for you. Like
I hope this looks okay on the camera.
You look amazing.
My hands.
Oh no, you're perfect. This is what the kids go for these days. So feet together, knees open. Yeah, that's Love Bug.
Oh my God,
So
it feels
already,
so good.
It's like, what are they doing now? So already she's curled up into this cute little ball.
Oh, I love it.
It's so great. Can you do chillaxin arms again?
Sure.
Yeah, you can hold on, but chillaxin arms gives, like, I call it the double butterfly, right? So you have the butterfly legs and the butterfly arms, the double diamond. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna arch. You're gonna lean back and arch. Push your hips forward. Yeah, so you can even float a little bit.
So good, and I want to come off the table.
I'm telling you, that's another pose though. We're not there yet.
Okay.
I know you
My
do.
body wants to go there.
It does. That's what I was playing with, and I was imagining even before getting here, like, okay, I want to do Xfactor, but I want to hang off the table, and I was just feeling it so much in my body. And then Barbara was like, oh yeah, it would be really great if we do upper body today. And I was like, fantastic, that's what we'll do. Okay.
This is
So-
fun.
So we're gonna go ahead and do a few undulations like that. And I love this idea of coming in and just being a little bit of a support for the hips because I like, really getting in there. And so she's gonna roll up and down and I can do a little lift here. That's
Oh my
it.
God, that feels so good.
Yeah, and she can just slide up and down my legs. There you go. And lift. And this is great for people who like have really tight hips because my knees are kind of doing a little bit of body work there. Oh yeah, and then it gives her upper body this freedom to move.
And now it wants to move like this.
I know.
Isn't that funny?
I'm telling you, the wiggle. It's the amazing
You have
wiggle.
no idea how good this feels, y'all.
They'll know though, they'll know. So you look at my feet, can even do this little movement behind your heart. Just a little lift. Yeah, good. And then I'm gonna let her roll down into a ball.
And even the ball feels really good.
The best. And I'm gonna switch to just supporting her with my outer legs. This is just such a nice way to really help to comfort and soothe the body, soothe the nervous system. And then I'm just gonna slowly unfurl.
And I think
Hey.
after an opening in the heart like that, it's so nice to come back into this
It really
restorative ball.
The
right? 'Cause
counterbalance.
I felt like really an expansion in my heart, and now this is kind of like a more grounding of that expansion.
So what I would love is for the swing to spread out now and for her to experience that.
Okay. Yes.
So spread it out over the lower body completely. Yeah. Keep it at the hips. So, yeah. And then all the way down to the legs. Beautiful. And then so we're going to remove this for a second. Go ahead and let the purple leg loops gather around your waist as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
See how
And then
easy this is?
Yeah. And then this can still support.
Oh my God.
That was the one where I was like, what? Yeah, so good.
Oh,
We're gonna pause this and do one more video since we're running out of space on my computer. We'll be right back.